So today we are live with Jez Loftus from Trek UK. Jez, thank you for joining us today. We're going to be
pleasure.
We're going to be talking about a very exciting bike, new to Trek. Can you explain a little bit about what we're going to be talking about, please?
Yeah, so we're going to be chatting about the new Emonda that launches on Thursday at 3 o'clock UK time, and it's an all-new Emonda for us. New from the ground up, actually. It's a completely new bike that no one would have seen before.
Wow, very, very exciting. The Emonda traditionally has been, some would say, a climber's bike. I'm guessing now it's going to be a little bit more versatile. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, so the history of the Emonda, it was always intended as a lightweight climbing bike. It's still a lightweight climbing bike. In fact, it's lighter now, and we've introduced an aero element to it. So we now have a completely new tube shape and also new wheels on the bike as well, which is also new on Thursday with the launch.
Nice. So yeah, as we say, a very much a redesigned platform there. What kind of rider, or should we say terrain as well, should this bike suit?
Yeah, so it's intended as a climbing bike, but actually it's probably more universal than any of the other bikes we've got out there at the moment. Comparing it to the Madone and the Demane. So Demane, very comfort orientated. It's a different geometry, which we'll go on to later. And the Madone is a sort of all-out aero race bike. The Emonda sits really neatly between those two categories, and I think it is more of a sort of universal road bike for that general rider as well. Obviously, the performance rider is going to appreciate that aero advantage and the weight savings during the climbs, but for the everyday rider, it's just a great all-round road bike.
Cool. And when one of the key things with this bike is the weight saving. I'm guessing a lot of that's down to the new frame material?
Yeah, so we're using a combination of new carbon, so OCLV carbon. That's our proprietary carbon developed in the USA. That has brought the frame weight down just through the material choice in itself, but also with the layup and the new tube shapes. It's a sub 700 gram frame. So the new frame unpainted weighs, it's just under 700 grams, so 698, and I think that's for the 56 centimeter frame. So yeah, it's lighter all round than the current model year 20 bike. Yeah.
Cool. And does the frame material differ from, say, the SL to the SLR model?
Yeah, so the SLR is using the all-new OCLV 800 carbon. SL is using current OCLV 500 technology, but that is all that's different. Same frame shape, same geometry for the SL when you compare it to the SLR.
And would you say the customer should experience a very similar kind of ride?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the one thing you have to remember about this, the only thing it's missing is the ISO speed. So that's a weight-saving tactic. So it doesn't have that sort of comfort advantage of the Madone and the Demane, but the similarity between the SL and the SLR will be very similar in how it feels. We've tried to keep that as close as possible.
Cool. And from a visual perspective, the aerodynamics of this bike have been enhanced. The time in the wind tunnel is proven to be faster than its predecessor. Why are these aero advantages beneficial for, say, the normal rider, not your Vincenzo Nibalis and Lizzie Digerlands, someone who just wants to go out for a Sunday club run or maybe do a bit of local racing? Yeah,
that's a really good point. I mean, we spend a lot of time in the wind tunnel and the computational flow analysis and things like that. The aero tube shape of the new Emonda is very different from that and the Madone. It's designed to offer an advantage at a lower speed, which actually is the majority of us. We're not riding at those Madone speeds a Pro would be. So it does change the fluid dynamics quite a lot at that lower speed. I think we'd lost about 103 grams of drag for the new tube shape. So that equates to sort of 60 seconds faster over an hour on certain climbs. And we've got a list of sort of quite technical savings that you'll be able to review and just sort of compare and contrast, but it's designed to offer an aero advantage at that lower speed bracket.
Cool. And something else aside from the frame, which is very exciting, is the new Alias RSL bar and stem combination. Can you tell us a little bit about how this has been developed and why it's been added?
Yeah, so it's a completely new bar system. It's actually totally interchangeable with the Madone system, if you're familiar with that. So it'll clamp on that bike, no problem. It's designed to work with carbon and alloy steerers, but it's completely new. It's lighter than the current bar. Yeah, you're saving 7 watts of wind tunnel drag with that new bar shape. The cable management is a big plus for the mechanics. It's a lot easier to build this bike and cable up. All cables are sort of routed externally, but hidden behind a clamp underneath the stem bar interface. So it's very easy to swap out cables and take apart and pack the bike as well. It's a lot easier than the current Aero Madone bar.
Cool. Is there any adjustability in this bar, or is it kind of...
So it's a total, it's a totally fixed bar stem combo, but we're offering them, the usual array of sizes from wide to skinny and from short stems to long stems.
Perfect. Nice. So something for everyone, as you say.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're talking about the carbon fibre, that we've got the new 800 series OCLV. As well as weight, is there any difference to stiffness there, or is it predominantly weight we're benefiting?
Yes, stiffness and strength. So the way we work our carbon system, so OCLV 800 is the new carbon. That is proprietary technology to Trek. It's a US carbon, so we get first look on that carbon. So we're always developing our carbon in-house, and it's sort of trickle-down effects. After a couple of years, that trickles down to the lower ranges. It's a new carbon, it's stronger, so that means we don't need as much of the material. And actually, by using OCLV 800, we're saving about, it's 30% stronger, and it just means we need to use less of that carbon. So that's where we're saving a lot of the weight.
Cool, a win-win then. Something which we have many a question on, and has been the bane of many cyclists' lives when they're choosing to whether it be build a bike or replace parts on a bike, is bottom brackets. Can you tell us a little bit about the bottom bracket on the new Emonda and what it's compatible with, really?
Yeah, another good question. So you're seeing a move to change to the T47 BB system, and that means you can fit anything, even the cranks that feature a 30mm spindle.
Cool. Perfect. That was nice and concise. So as we say, another great array of options there to choose from. Something again Trek are renowned for is their options when it comes to geometries. I think we talked about briefly that the Demane is going to be a bit more comfort orientated, whereas the Madone is a bit more race focused. What geometries can a customer expect with the Emonda?
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson here. Historically, we used to have the H1 and the H2 geometry. Before that, it was the Pro and Performance geometry, for those who are old enough to remember that. The H1 is the lower front end geometry. The H2 is 3 centimeters higher. Now, what we did with the Madone is introduce the H1.5, which you probably guessed it, is halfway between H1 and H2. Now the Emonda, the new Emonda, is adopting that H1.5 geometry that is the same as the Madone. And it's also worth noting that the Demane is different again, and it's got its endurance geometry, which is more upright and shorter at the top tube.
Cool. So a lot of adjustability to suit a number of riders. I'm guessing the pros are going to be using the same geometry on their bikes?
Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time doing bike fitting as well, and it's a sort of all-encompassing geometry that's a lot easier to work with, so it should fit most people.
Cool. And something we did touch on was you sponsor professional cycling teams, Trek Segafredo. How does it work for the designers and the engineers when it comes to developing these products? Do they speak a lot to, say, teams for feedback? How does it...
Oh yeah, so we've got our own sort of pro team, and they're an integral part of the product development sort of process. It's something we're constantly getting their feedback and trying new products. So then we have a sort of race shop department inside the headquarters, and they will speak constantly to the team and get feedback on new products that we're trying out. And anything they do or don't like, we sort of work very, very closely with those guys.
Cool. Yeah, as I say, is that real world feedback is invaluable, I guess, and especially at that level.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we've talked a little bit about the SLR bike, and we've touched on the SL, can you give us a bit of an idea of what the range looks like? What kind of price points we're talking about here and specs?
Okay, so yeah, the SLR is the OCLV 800 carbon bike, and that's the one made out of Waterloo, Wisconsin. That's the top tier bike. So that's the top tier frame, the lightest frame. And then we have the SL bike, which will actually probably be our most popular selling model. And that's available from SL5 all the way up to SL7. And the way we sort of name our bikes, SL5, it's complete group sets throughout. So the SL5 would feature 105. SL6 moves up to Ultegra. We have this SL6 Pro that features the new Aeolus wheels on there as well for sort of small upcharge. SL7 and SL7 ETAP, so we have SRAM options available for those who want it. And that's pretty much mirrored in the SLR range as well. So SLR6 starts with the Ultegra and all the way up to SLR9, which is the Dura-Ace, and the SRAM ETAP red system as well in the SL9 models. But that's where you sort of get into the Project One configurator. You can go on there and spec the bikes how you want them as well. There's going to be a lot more customization available through the P1 system this year, this model year coming, I mean.
Yeah, I think that's one question I was going to move on to. I guess just sticking to the spec options. Are there frame sets? Can this be purchased as a frame set as well?
You can purchase it as a frame set. It's worth noting as well, you've reminded me with the frames there, this is only going to be a disc-only bike. Last year we offered a caliper version for the Ultimate in lightweight, but now the way things are going, it's discs throughout with the Emonda as well, but you will be able to order it as a frame set in SLR and SL models as well.
Perfect. So yeah, lots of options there. As you mentioned, Project One. For people who aren't familiar with Project One, or maybe how the process works, can you explain a little bit about that and what's possible with the Emonda?
Yeah, so you get onto the Project One site through our main website, and that just allows you to go and configure the bike how you want it. And that's in the SLR models. You can choose group sets, that you can customize bar width, saddles, tires, etc., much like you would do any other bike. We've got a load of new colours coming out, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to show these, but there's even sort of a gold fleck version in there that uses real gold leaf. There's a lot of funky new colours coming out with this new Emonda and the P1 system.
Cool. And all this Project One can be, as I say, configured on the Trek website, and then our sales team in store or online are experienced when it comes to
absolutely
and going through the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always like the idea. Go away, play with the website, do what you want on there, do something outrageous, do your sensible bike, your dream bike, whatever, and then come and see you guys to get it sort of ordered and built up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to seeing what customers come up with, and of course taking photos. And yeah, it's always very exciting.
Yeah, there's some wild stuff in there, and we're also introducing total customization with our build. It's sort of like a custom builder option, so you can come up with your own designs as well and submit those. That's going to be new for P1 this year. Moving on.
Very exciting indeed. Final question, and this is a big one, and I'm sure one you won't be able to give us a huge amount of information on. But what can we expect for Trek going forward? I guess the focus there. I can see you're laughing here. The amount of information is from any manufacturer is not going to be readily available. Okay, things like would there be, say, an electric Emonda? Would there be an appetite for that?
So we have an electric Damani at the moment, and for the sake of my neck, I'd probably have to give you the standard Trek response, which, and I've got it here, we're always in new development, we always are developing new products with our race teams. Trek will provide complete information on new products when they are available to all riders around the world to enjoy. That's our standard.
Yeah. Okay.
Watch this space. Watch this space.
Watch this space. Exactly. Never say never. Thank you very much, Jez, for your time today, for trekking on.
Thank you very much.
Very exciting indeed. I'll be looking forward to getting your hands on one and go for a ride on it.
Brilliant. Enjoy.